Rwanda, 1994. A land of rolling green hills, proud traditions, and people who had lived side by side for centuries. But in just 100 days, that beauty would be drowned in blood. Nearly 1 million lives lost, men, women, and children, in one of the darkest chapters of human history, the Rwandan Genocide. To understand 1994, we must go back decades. Rwanda was home mainly to two groups, the Hutu majority and the Tutsi minority. Though these groups shared language, culture, and land, colonial powers, first Germany, then Belgium, exploited differences. They gave identity cards separating Hutu from Tutsi, favoring one group over the other, planting seeds of resentment and division. By the time Rwanda gained independence in 1962, mistrust was already deeply rooted. For decades, cycles of violence erupted between Hutu-led governments and Tutsi rebels. In 1990, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, a Tutsi rebel group, launched a civil war. By 1993, a fragile peace agreement was signed. But beneath the surface, hate was boiling. On radio stations, propaganda spread. Tutsis were called cockroaches. Neighbors were told to prepare for a final solution. April 6, 1994. A plane carrying Rwanda's president, Juvenal Habyarimana, was shot down. Within hours, roadblocks appeared. The killings began. Hutu extremists unleashed a coordinated plan of extermination. They weren't targeting soldiers. They were targeting civilians, Tutsi families, and Hutus who dared to oppose the madness. What followed was unthinkable. Machetes became weapons of mass murder. Churches, once places of refuge, turned into slaughterhouses. Neighbors killed neighbors. Teachers killed students. The world watched, but did almost nothing. UN peacekeepers were ordered not to intervene. Western powers hesitated, calling it civil conflict, refusing to use the word genocide, and so the killing went on. By the time it ended, in just 100 days, up to 800,000 people had been murdered. The bloodshed finally stopped when the RPF, led by Paul Kagame, fought its way into Kigali and seized control of the country. The genocide was over, but Rwanda was left shattered, scarred, and haunted. In the years since, Rwanda has struggled, rebuilt, and transformed. Gacaca community courts sought justice, while survivors and perpetrators were forced to live side by side once again. Today, Rwanda is a symbol of resilience, but the wounds of 1994 still run deep. The genocide was not only a Rwandan tragedy, it was a global failure. A reminder of what happens when hate is left unchecked, and when the world looks away. The Rwandan genocide was not a storm that came out of nowhere. It was decades of division, fear, and hate, all exploding in just 100 days. But history does not only tell us what was, it warns us of what could be again. May we honor the victims. May we learn from the past. And may we never let silence be the answer to injustice again. Stories like this must never be forgotten. But to keep them alive, I need your voice too. Don't just watch. Be part of this mission. Hit subscribe so you never miss the lessons history is trying to teach us. Like this video to spread the message further than silence ever could. And comment your thoughts because your voice matters, and together, we make sure these stories live on. Subscribe, like, comment. Let's keep history alive.